Alright, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, I have a battle here, one of three battles, I think, in the last stream that all ended up being a really excellent battles. This one is against the Venom Within, yeah, let's go ahead and dig into it. Now, right off the bat, I noticed that, his Pokemon are very high-tiered. I'm actually pretty afraid of this team, looking at it, and I took some requests from chat, including, using Toucannon and Ribombee in this battle. Two Pokemon I don't think I've ever used in Gen 7 battles before, so I'm gonna give them a try. So I lived with Toucannon, and I made a Scarf Toucannon set, and Toucannon is actually pretty slow, but I'm like, okay, it should still outspeed this Nihilego thing, and no, he goes for the Power Gem, and he just kills my Toucannon, so really probably should rethink that set, and yeah, he's gonna go ahead and get his Beast Boost up to raise his special attack even, so not a great start for me as I go into Garchomp now. I'm just going to go for an Iron Head. I'm thinking this thing is Scarfed at this point, but I actually don't think it is. No, because it has the Focus Sash, so it actually just outspeeds me. Thankfully, I do get the Flinch here, so he's not able to set up Stealth Rocks here yet, and he is going to go ahead and switch out. He goes out into Gary, his Gyarados, which is going to get the Intimidate, as well as, obviously, Resist my Iron Head. This is a Scarf Garchomp, so I think I brought like three choicers, I think, on this team. So, yeah, kind of what happens when I build teams on the fly. The other two battles in that stream, I kind of had a pre-built team made, but this one, I'm kind of just built on the fly, and yeah, sometimes it ends up like this. Oh well, so he's going to go ahead and take the opportunity to Dragon Dance, which is super scary. I was actually thinking it was a Mega Gyarados here, so I go into my Primarina Water Fairy type because I can resist both Dark and Water moves, which would be his two stabs, but instead, it is a Z Splash Gyarados, which is actually a set I really wanted to try out myself at some point. Now, Z Splash raises his attack by 3 stages, so at this point he has +1 speed and +4 attack, a super scary amount. I do thankfully get the special defense drop off that energy ball, which is going to actually force him to kill Primarina here and not get that second speed boost, which is super necessary because I need to be able to outspeed with Garchomp. And yeah, thankfully, with only 1 speed boost, I should be able to outspeed this Gyarados and avoid getting completely swept. So that was fortunate for me, but you know what? Looking at the teams beforehand, pretty sure I need some hacks in order to actually level the score a little bit. Alright, so he is going to go into Tapu Bulu here. The reason I didn't go for an Outrage straight up is because he did have this, who is a Fairy type, so I know that I needed to be able to switch out in order to keep Garchomp. So I was hoping a Dragon Claw would do it, and it does, so there you go. Anyway, I go into Magnezone. I do that because Magnezone does resist Grass as well as Fairy, and he ends up going for the Substitute, which I don't really see on Tapu Bulus that much. And he also reveals another neat little trick that he has on his little Tapu Bulu, which is Light Screen. So this is a good and bad thing for me. Bad because obviously I'm going to be doing reduced damage. I am a Specs Magnezone, so I'm still feeling that I can do good damage even without the Light Screen with Flash Cannon, which is super effective. And I'm able to break the sub, and yeah, it's pretty cool. But he still has that special defense boost, and yeah, knowing that he has 2 moves that aren't attacking moves, I'm like, okay, he probably doesn't have a way to hit me even neutrally, because I will resist his Horn Leech, which like all Tapu Bulus carry. And I can also, and then I see the bulk up too, so I'm thinking that Horn Leech is this Tapu Bulu's only attacking move, and even after a bulk up, I'm not thinking it can do much damage after the resistance. I mean, it can do a lot of damage actually after the resistance, especially due to the bulk up, but I'm thinking not quite enough. Maybe I can get this thing out with Flash Cannon, and I did decent damage that first time. He gets the Horn Leech off, and I'm curious to see the damage, and it actually doesn't do that much. It does 60, and thank you for resisting it, but and all that. Either way, gonna keep going with the Flash Cannon, hoping to KO, and yeah, got it. Pretty sure that was like max damage. It wasn't a crit or anything, but pretty sure I got like max damage on that Flash Cannon, judging by the first one, so definitely some nice RNG for me, and I'm able to take that thing out without any further damage. Either way, in comes Alienware again, and I probably should have stayed in and just killed it, but I was kind of afraid it might hit me. He ended up going for the Stealth Rocks, which is kind of a mixed thing. I do have Ribombee, who's weak to them, and obviously Stealth Rocks does limit my ability to switch compared to his, but getting them, he got them off pretty late here, so that I'm thankful for that at least, and I'm just going to go for an Iron Head to finish this thing off, because yeah, that can do that and stuff. So that's a dead Alienware now. And his Light Screen wears off. That's kind of good. As he goes into BuzzFeed now, his Mandibuzz. And yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and switch out. I decided to go into my Ribombee. Now, he could predict this and go for a flying move, which would probably kill me. Ribombee is obviously not very bulky. I'm taking some crucial damage there, but instead he goes for a Foul Play, which is good for me because Ribombee doesn't resist that and doesn't have any attack. So that's pretty cool. Now this is a Quiver Dance set. I actually think I carry. Yeah, this is a Quiver Dance set. But obviously there's nothing I can really do here. I can't really afford to set up on this thing due to a Brave Bird. So I just decided to go for the Moon Blast, and I end up getting the crit. Not sure if it mattered. Probably did. I know that Mandibuzz is more physically bulky than specially, but it's still always pretty specially bulky as well due to the EVs and stuff. But I end up getting the crit, which killed it, and that's pretty fortunate for me. And he goes into Gengar. I was expecting outspeed, but no. It ends up being Scarf Garchomp. Sorry, Scarf. Why did I say Garchomp? Scarf Gengar, and is able to take me out with a Shadow Ball, and knowing that it's Scarfed, I mean, I go into Garchomp. I know I can take a Shadow Ball. I mean, I know that I'm not going to outspeed here because it is Scarf Garchomp. Sorry, Scarf Gengar against Scarf Garchomp. But Gengar is a bit faster, but I still needed to go into this to get off the Earthquake on it. As you probably all of you know by now, Gengar loses Levitate in Gen 7. It gets Curse Body instead, so I'm able to go for that and kill it as he goes into his last Pokemon, Tapu Lele. And in the back of my mind, I'm thinking it's a, Timid Scarfer, which is what most of them tend to be. So I'm going into Alakazam here thinking, okay, Alakazam can't outspeed Timid Scarf, Tapu Lele. So I'm thinking this is kind of the odd Pokemon out. I'm thinking that Magnezone should be able to take a hit from this thing. And Garchomp should be able to outspeed this thing with its Scarf. But, yeah, it ends up being really bad for me. Now, my Garchomp is adamant. So, he can actually outspeed me with Timid Scarf, Tapu Lele, and because he's modest, he can't outspeed me with Timid Scarf. He could if it was Timid Scarf, Tapu Lele. But yeah, my Magnezone does not live to him being modest. I made a huge mistake there. It was pretty much like a 50-50 shot at that point. But yeah, I get the Iron Head off. It's not quite enough to kill, and down goes Garchomp. I did make quite a bit of a mistake. Because it's modest Scarf, I actually could have outsped with Mega Alakazam after Mega Evolving, but I had no idea. I didn't expect that, and there you go. Either way, it was a good match. Obviously, Hax was a bit in my favor, but I think it ended up making the match a little bit closer, especially due to the team tier differences. Either way, a great battle. He's a pretty cool guy. He has just joined the Discord. He's obviously a pretty decent battler, and we'll have to do a battle with him soon. So today's question of the day is, which new Gen 7 Pokemon do you hate the most? Now, obviously, in every generation, there's going to be Pokemon designs you like or dislike, or even if it's not, it could not even be a design thing. If you just hate placing it, I'm pretty sure I know Fulham hates Tapu Lele because he hates playing against it. But as for me, I would have to say Alolan Persian is probably the stupidest looking thing ever, and a complete down. Why did it make its face so fat? Having said that, the next two battles coming up will feature Alolan Persian, as I will go ahead and try to use it anyway. But it's probably my least favorite Pokemon from Gen 7 design-wise, and obviously Alolan forms do count, but you don't have to say an Alolan form either. If you really dislike one of the new Pokemon, go for that. Anyway, leave a comment about that, and see you guys next time. Bye!